Hello, Joker. Is your keeper not here?
Commander, something you need?
Yes. A chat.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander.
I see.
Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
Low average? Subpar? Let's just have a
I like
chat.
to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
Okay, time to give Joker a case of foot in mouth.
What are you talking about? Are you sick?
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap.
Ha!
Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic. But I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you.
Okay.
Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
What if I do?
I need
Tell
to
me a
know
little bit
more
more.
about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
How do you
You're
do
not
your
gonna
job?
break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander.
You
so
sure?
I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though.
Oh,
I can do my job
Yes.
as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
okay. Well, that's fair enough. We did need to know, but thank you for being
I'm
so
not
upfront
trying
with
to
it.
make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
Okay, let's have your nickname. I'm gonna guess it's because of your sarcastic wit.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
No, I want to know
You're
more.
dodging the question.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Fair enough. Were you unhappy?
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
Fair enough. Well well done, I suppose.
I have to go.
All right, see ya.
Oh, right, just dismissive like that. Damn it, I'm your captain, man. Okay, anything I can click on for codex entries? No. Right, so, who else about the ship has things to tell me about?
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
Really? I can be hardline. I can be more gentle. Let's investigate a bit further. What issue do you have with non-humans on the ship?
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Well, Saren is a bigger threat than just someone who attacked human colonies. It just happened to start there, so...
This is bigger than humanity. Saren's a threat to every species in the galaxy, and I'll welcome anyone who wants to help me bring him down.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. Don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
No, I didn't think it would be, but I wanted you to understand where my feelings were. Now some personal
How did you end up
questions.
assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
And now you're here.
How did you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Oh, fair enough. Then the captain must have seen something in you, and I trust the captain's decision. Right, well, that's it for us. Goodbye.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Try not to pick any fights with non-humans. Right, we're not going to play around with the galaxy map yet. We're going to have a proper look around. Use the stairs, don't use the lift, unless you absolutely have to, which we kind of do. I think to get down to engineering we have to. I'm not entirely sure on that though. Hello! No? Okay, fair enough. Moving on. The doctor. You sure I'm not broken after that beacon thing?
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Ooh. Yeah, let's talk about Chitin.
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record.
Oh, I think we've
over a dozen
actually
special
spoken about this.
commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches.
We've
It's not
definitely
easy
heard
being an
that before.
L2.
Anything else?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too
Yeah,
safe.
we've definitely
too
heard all
secure.
of this. That's what
I
2
figured
weeks
the
of not playing will
colonies
do
were
to you.
teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls.
Warrior
Turns out
poets.
military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined.
I can dig this.
But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Very well.
I should
Thank
go.
you for the chat.
Goodbye, Commander.
I imagine Shepard too hopes that one day he will find a charming warrior poet to call his own. Though you really got to stop jogging like this, Shepard. Conservation of movement, man. We don't need to move everywhere at a jog, so we probably shouldn't. Hello, Caden. Also, hello, Siri.
Anything you need, Commander?
Yes, tactical appraisal.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Very well. Looking for personal input?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Fair enough.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
My lord. See, this is what jogging does to you. I am glistening with perspiration. Ah, Shepard. When will you learn? Anything down here? Yes, game, you can change your field of view all you want. It's not going to trick me into thinking I'm moving any faster. Ooh. Aha! More codex entries that I will be reading very slowly. I will be measuring them out carefully. What do we got over here? Personnel manual. Examine. This my bedroom, perhaps? Is this the commander's quarters? Might be. Okay, well, I guess the lift is the last place for me to go. And just to make it look dramatic, we'll change the field of view. Ah, I hate lifts. Why must we use lifts? Hello. Aha. Here we are. Oh, I see. Is that Garrus over there? Right. So, all of our non-humans, you are in the cargo bay. This it just doesn't bode well.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard.
Why, thank you.
What can I do for you?
Personal inquiry.
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Just a short one. Don't be an ass. Yeah, don't be an ass.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was...
yeah. I'm not going to say that. He'd probably headbutt me into oblivion. That's unfortunate. Also sounds like... That's unfortunate. No. Not being able to find your keys in the morning is unfortunate. Having your entire race almost wiped out, a little bit more.
They tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
Oh, that's not what I
It's
meant to
not
do.
the same.
Of course it is. Sure it is. Well, it's not really. Now, just to fill everyone in on what I happen to know, biological warfare, basically, against the Krogan, pretty bad things to their ability to reproduce. Where it was just straight up warfare with us.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Okay. That was just so that we could get that dialogue out of the way. Realistically, Shepard should have been a bit more... It's not so much gentle. I don't think Rex would appreciate it as being gentle, quote-unquote, but just, you know, not being as so oblivious.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Fair enough.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago.
Ooh. Now we got a bit of
Genophage
stories.
infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Now, this is the interesting stuff. Let's find out a little bit more. Genophage.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why not?
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Fair point.
Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
I mean, you're aware of it, so of course you can change it. If you're aware of any... If you're aware of two options, you can choose to make the other one. Saying you just can't change something is just silly.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
And?
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
Quite a sad story that Rex has.
So long, Rex.
But I actually really like the character. Tally's locker, Rex's locker, Garrus's locker, Caden, Ashley. Hello, Ashley.
Commander?
How are we doing?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
That we tried to save
You
your
wish we'd
unit.
been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, sir. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
I mean, I want to try and turn this dwelling on the past into something positive by saying, well, then be more alert, you know. But I've got a funny feeling this is going to come off like, well, yeah, exactly, that's why they all died. Your fault. Don't make the same mistake again, which is not what Shepard wants to do. We're going to go with don't blame yourself.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
Sir, they have flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Well played.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Alright,
Dismissed, Chief.
we'll come back later.
Sir.
Now, Garrus. Everyone's favorite bro. Hello.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Take care, Belial. Thanks for dropping by to the stream. Right. Well, to be honest, bureaucracy does tend to add a lot of impediments to actually getting work done that needs to be done, but it also adds a lot of checks and balances to prevent work that really shouldn't be done from being done. So it's a bit one way or the other, but I did kind of feel that CSEC were almost just a show of force rather than an actual force. So
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
was that your only reason?
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
It was a tough decision, to be fair. If you actually felt like you were making some progress, I can understand that. And thank you very much, Isham Gamer, for the resub 6 months in a row.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
I mean, if your way happens to agree with my way, possibly. I mean, from what I've seen of you so far, your way does run alongside my way, so yeah.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
The Mako M35 Codex, more EXP. Okay, Alliance Requisition Officer.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
Actually, I kind of want to know why you've got this weird holographic triangle in front of you.
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
I have to pay you for my own stuff.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
Okay, let's see the rest.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
I think we've
Manufacturers
seen quite a
sell
few.
licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
Everyone asking about the ferrets? They're currently snoozing. They'll probably start moving around in a little bit. They were out playing for an hour-ish, an hour before I started streaming, so they're probably going to start waking up soon, given that I'm talking. That's manufacturers.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
Fair enough, so pay attention to the licenses. Got it.
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased. But I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Fair enough.
Let's see what you've got.
Let me have a
You
look.
bet, Commander.
Okay, we've got 3,000. There's no way in this universe that I'm going to be able to buy most of this stuff. Yeah, we're way too poor to really care about these things for now, but I could possibly sell some things. I've got a lot of stuff right now. I'll probably look into buying and selling later, though. The main thing I want to do right now is equip my troops, then possibly dump the stuff that I don't need from there. So, first, tally. Armor-piercing rounds. Recovered items. Take all. Did I just take that off tally? I don't approve of this. I'm saying right now. I don't think that was very nice. We've got no armor for Turians. Not Turians, sorry. Quarians. Sniper rifle. I don't believe you're really going to be using a sniper rifle, so it doesn't really matter. Pistol, you're definitely likely to be using, but I think I've already given you the best one I had. These any better? Nope. As for this, it might not be too bad, but I don't think you're going to be using a rifle too much either. I think I'll check out... Garrus is probably, I think, rifles and snipers. I know Ashley can use rifles, though. So in this case, yes. Go ahead and have that one. Ashley can use pretty much every weapon that I've got, so... Let's see if there's a better sniper. I don't think we've got a better sniper than that. As for your armor, I want you to just basically be a tank, so... You've got good armor as is. Caden. I believe Caden is more pistols. I think I've already given Caden the best pistol I have. Might be pistols and assault rifles, though. Okay, fairly happy with that. We've got... Sure, we'll take that. Cooldown bonus has gone down, but the power bonus has gone up, and duration is up. Well... I really don't know. The cooldown bonus is actually pretty awesome. And if I can have him rapid firing his abilities, that would be really, really quite nice. But I am pretty happy with the amount of tech biotic protection he's got. Wouldn't mind being able to spread it out a little bit, but those shields are fantastic. Also, let me have a look at my own stuff. What armor have I got? No, I'm pretty happy with that. Pistols and snipers are what I'm going to be building too. So as long as I've got the best one of those, then everything else can be doled out. Alright, Garrus, let's give you an assault rifle. I mean, I've put a mod in your assault rifle, so it makes sense that it's something that you're going to be using quite a lot. I don't think the damage bonus there is worth the drop in accuracy, because it's quite a drop in accuracy, to be fair. I don't have any Turian gear. Toggle on your helmet. Oh wow, you look pretty awesome with that on. I'll consider it. Yeah, you go ahead and have this one. There we go. As for Rex, Rex is assault rifles and shotguns, I believe. Already got the best shotgun. Yeah, go ahead and have the Banshee. Have we got any mods? Oh, we do. Motorized joints. Ooh, plus 15% smash damage. I kind of like that, yeah. You can have that. In fact, let's have a look at the mods that I've got. Nothing there. Armor-piercing rounds. Sure. High-caliber barrel. I think that's what I've already got. Have a look at Garrus. Do I have anything more for you? Already got that. And your armor. You've already got something there. It's fine. Okay, Tali is the last for us to look at. Okay, now I'm not entirely sure what kind of equipment Tali will tend to use. Best I can do is just make sure she's got the best of everything. Clearly pistols, because I've given her a mod for that. But that all looks okay. Right, let's go and flog off all the junk we don't want to keep now. Then we'll go and hunt for Tali.
Looking for supplies?
Yes.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Right, I would like to sell. We'll keep the biotic amp. Oh, I haven't plugged that in for anyone. Sell this. For how much will I be able to get it? I'm not getting very much for them. We'll get rid of a lot of the human armor. I just don't think we're gonna need it. Medium armor turret. Oh, really? I should be able to give that to someone then. There we go. Good enough. Let me just make sure that I've equipped Garrus with the armor there. Really? Oh well. It's enough poking around there. Let's go and see if we can't find Tali. Thank you very much, Blackson. Tali's weapon proficiency is shotguns and pistols. Okay, let's talk with people from this side forward. Sounds like the TARDIS. I approve.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
Is she bothering you?
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I
Oh,
wish
these
my
are what I
guys were
asked.
half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I didn't. No.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
That isn't so good.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space.
That makes
Most
sense.
vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Well, I would imagine FTL would give us away, but let's
Why doesn't
talk
it work
about
with
that.
faster than light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Interesting. Why don't more people have these?
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
The drive core?
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Okay. Personal
Where else have you
questions.
served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Well, fair enough. Thank you very much.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye.